When people talk about historic Providence, Rhode Island hotels, the most referenced is likely the Biltmore, celebrating its 100-year birthday in 2023. The hotel still operates today, though in 2019 it was rebranded as the Graduate Hotel, but the iconic Biltmore sign high atop the building remains. But this story is not about the Biltmore, and while maybe not as famous, a few blocks away once stood the Crown Hotel. Located on Weybosset Street and built in the 1890s, the structure remained for almost 100 years before falling to the wrecking ball after a fire. This is the story of the Crown Hotel, later serving as a Johnson & Wales dormitory for the remaining decades of its life. Designed by Gould, Angel & Swift for the Providence Athletic Club, the 5-story steel frame structure that will house the Crown Hotel is constructed in 1893, opening in 1894. In 1901, the building is converted to the Crown Hotel with the addition of the top 2 stories. This also leads me to the earliest article I can find online referring to the new hotel proprietor George Johnson in 1901. The 7-story hotel resided at 208 Weybosset Street at the intersection of Weybosset and Garnett. Garnett will cease to exist when the area is redeveloped as the Johnson & Wales Down City campus in the 1990s. Images from the early 1900s showcase a beautiful hotel featuring multiple dining options, including a tea room, coffee shop, formal dining rooms, and the Deep Sea Cocktail Lounge. Hotel suites appear luxuriously well appointed. Early life seems very successful as the hotel is situated near theater, the financial district, and opposite the massive outlet center, a beacon for shopping in downtown Providence. Like many older hotels, the years take a toll. The same can be said of the Biltmore that went through highs and lows itself over the years. In 1947, the Crown Hotel is sold, along with the Biltmore, for $3 million to the Sheraton Corporation of America. The Crown Hotel name remains. It would appear this did very little to aid the hotel, for just 3 years later, in 1950, the Newport Daily News reports the Crown Hotel will close its doors and indicates the hotel has been in receivership. It is forced to close February 21st, 1950. A month later, on March 13th, the Newport Daily News reports the hotel was sold at auction for $432,500, and plans are to resume operations as soon as possible. In the decade that follows, a nor'easter in March of 1956 drops nearly 15 inches of snow in Providence. In one of several very rare film clips from the Rhode Island Historical Society, we get a glimpse into life in and around the Crown Hotel and along Weybosset Street during the storm. In 1962, a disturbance, as it was dubbed, occurs at the hotel, and through another clip, we get a look inside the damaged hotel room. On March 31st, 1964, the Newport Daily News reports the hotel will close sometime in May and notes, "The Crown will go out of business after 67 years." Over the years, the hotel had played host to singer Al Jolson, boxer Sugar Ray Robinson, bandleader Sammy Kaye, among many other celebrities. In this extremely rare video provided by the Rhode Island Historical Society, we get an incredible visit inside the hotel with moving images from 1964. Just 2 months later, the North Adams transcript reports on May 20th, 1964, that B.A. Dario, president of Lincoln Downs, signed an agreement to buy the 161-room hotel. No purchase price is mentioned. In need of student housing, Johnson & Wales leases the 6th floor of the hotel for the male dormitory students. In August 1966, with no uncertainty, the life of the building as a hotel ends when Johnson & Wales Junior College buys the Crown Hotel for a reported $340,000 to use as a dormitory. It's indicated the new dorm would continue to house some hotel guests. I suspect that must have been an interesting time. Originally called the Crown Dormitory, in December 1981, the building would be renamed McNulty Hall in honor of Colonel John McNulty, who served at Johnson & Wales for many years as Dean of Students after retiring from the U.S. Army. Just 2 years earlier, in 1979, the building was renovated at a cost of $2.2 million. The 1970s and 80s are a time of change for many American cities, and Providence is not spared from the economic and societal shifts. Johnson & Wales acquired many hotels throughout the years in and around Providence, including the Dreyfus Hotel in 1975 and the Minden Hotel in 1977. The long-running Loews Theater becomes the State Theater and eventually the Providence Performing Arts Center as it is known today. The Outlet Company, once touted as Rhode Island's largest store, closes for good in 1982. The building will remain mostly vacant as efforts to save the historic structure are underway. The city itself is gritty by comparison to its current state in the 2020s, which is the perfect setting for a college student who attended Johnson & Wales from 1984 to 1986, living in room 316 and the McNulty Hall Dormitory during my second year from 1985 to 1986. At the time, I had no idea I was living in a historic hotel. To a college student, it was just a really old building with bad plumbing and long hallways covered in wood paneling. But what an ideal location, steps from everything a college student needs. At the time, the J&W bookstore was in the former hotel lobby, and we had the infamous New York Diner across the street at 225 Weybosset for days when we wanted something besides the college meal plan. Convenient too was the classic Dunkin' Donuts, where I worked part-time, complete with sit-down counter service. And just a block away at 123 Weybosset, we had the No Name nightclub, featuring college night on Thursday, with all-you-could-drink beer in a plastic cup for $5. On a side note, my 1984 to 1985 freshman year was spent in another hotel-turned-dorm, the Hospitality Center in Cranston, now part of the Harborside campus. I resided in room 409 of the former Hilton Inn, originally opened in 1959 as the Colony Motor Hotel and acquired by Johnson & Wales in 1980. The landscape of Providence is changed dramatically when the Outlet Company building, now abandoned since 1982, burns in a fury fire on October 16, 1986. 600 Johnson & Wales students in McNulty Hall are evacuated as the buildings are separated by nothing more than the single-lane Garnett Street. The massive structure is demolished in 1989, and soon after, the land is purchased by Johnson & Wales, now officially a university as of 1988. On September 4, 1992, fire strikes again, extensively damaging the rear of the 7-story McNulty Hall. The fire was deemed suspicious and under investigation. Fortunately, the building was vacant of any students at the time, as it was undergoing a multi-million-dollar renovation and was not intended to house students for the 1992-1993 season. In a Providence Journal report From July 22, 1992, just 6 weeks earlier, Christopher Del Sesto, Senior Vice President of Johnson & Wales, indicated one option being considered is demolition of McNulty Hall. Del Sesto further indicated the renovations threatened to cost several million over the several million already budgeted. With significant damage to McNulty Hall, in December 1992, then Executive Vice President John Bowen makes the difficult decision to demolish the hotel. This would result in yet another massive structure demolition following the outlet building just 3 years earlier. In 1993, Johnson & Wales breaks ground on the new McNulty Hall, which will actually be on the site of the former outlet company, which sat next to the Crown Hotel. The site once home to the Crown Hotel is now home to Snowden Hall and is all part of the Johnson & Wales Down City campus, a vision started in the early 1990s. But that vision wasn't without challenges. In 1993, the Providence mayor and the university feuded over the ownership of Garnett Street. Fortunately, the matter was worked out, and the one-block section of street is now part of the beautiful Johnson & Wales City campus. Had McNulty Hall, aka the Crown Hotel, survived just one more year, it too would have made it to its 100th birthday, but fate had a different plan. As we close this video, let's take a then and now look at some of these locations using images I took during a visit to Providence in July of 2023.